Thank you so much, my good friends, for staying with me. So, like I said, I was just going to show you a little bit of the blood vessels, the yellow blood vessels in here that we couldn't see in one scat. Okay, look here. Some of the other stuff is all blown up. In one scat, we could see the renal veins and stuff like that. But in this scat, we could see the yellow. You see, there is the hepatic portal vein. And do you see? This one is the anterior pancreatico-duodenal vein. And then you could see the posterior one kind of here. Do you see it? Over here. It's not well infused. And a bit of the superior mesenteric right here. You see what I'm saying? So, but definitely, but you can see a little bit of the anterior pancreatico-duodenal, right? Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you here. And you could see here the superior mesenteric artery, because this one is really, I just have to remove the white from it. You see what I'm saying? Which is the connective tissue and also the nerves, the superior mesenteric nerves and stuff. See, but there is the superior mesenteric artery, and then the inferior one, you can't see it, you know, but we could see your inferior one, we could see it. Okay, but what I wanted to show you is the hepatic portal vein and the anterior pancreatico-duodenal vein and a bit of the superior mesenteric. We can't see the gastrosplenic here, but you know, we can't see a lot of the celiac trunk as well, but we do see the superior mesenteric, okay? But we do see also the posterior pancreatico-duodenal. You see, this is the pancreas and there's the duodenum. So there's the posterior pancreatico-duodenal vein and there's the anterior pancreatico-duodenal vein, the yellow ones, okay? So now that we're done with that, we did a little bit of that. So like I promised, I was gonna show you this. Look here, it's even got two. You see, there's the iliolumbar artery and vein. Isn't that coolio? And you could see the abdominal aorta here. You could see the inferior vena cava here, right? And like you see from the picture on the board, the iliolumbar artery and vein. You see, I told you that on mine it was coming out. And you see how the external iliac artery that's coming in, and that looks like a bend sign down here, the internal iliac, you understand? And then this one also goes to the caudal, you know, right where this branch is for the internal iliac vein. Do you see it? Then it goes down here as the caudal artery. It goes in there. You understand? But look here. So this blue one here before the branch here, this one would be the common iliac vein. So in the exam, you want to look out for this little branch here to the internal iliac vein. You understand? So if the arrow is before that, then you know it's the first bifurcation of the inferior vena cava, which means this is the common iliac vein. For the abdominal aorta, the first bifurcation is to the external iliac vein. You understand? And this is the internal, whatever is inside is the internal iliac artery. Do you see what I'm saying, my good friends? So you look here, you see that a common iliac vein. You see it. Bing, you see a branch. So that branch here is going to be the internal iliac vein. Once you get that branch, now this part here is the external iliac vein. It's no longer common iliac vein because we branched. We put a branch here. So now this external iliac vein joins this, what's always been the external iliac artery. And then from there onwards, they are splitting together now. Correct? Bing. And then here, you could see a bit of the blue, a bit of the red. So this is the deep femoral artery and vein. And you could see how it will be difficult for me to point to one or the other here. Correct? So I'm going to point to both of them. And I'm going to let you know too that I mean both. So then you would have to say deep femoral artery and vein. You type all of that in there. Okay, please. Okay, and then once you get that split, it now becomes the femoral artery and femoral vein. And then that's like I did on the board over there. I put an arrow to the red, I put a line to the red and a line to the blue, and then I join those lines, and then I say, okay, what is that? Then you would say femoral artery and vein. Correct? Okay, look here. Look, you see this small branch? The one that I said is not on the list. You see, it's right there. You can't even ignore it even if you wanted to. Do you see it? this is the proximal caudal-femoral artery and vein. I'm going to add it to the list one of these days, but for now it's not. So obviously, no, I can't, because then it won't be fair, because it's not on the list. I stick to the list. I stick to that. I'm fair-minded, because I know it's difficult enough as it is without doing anything more to it. I don't need to tinker with it. It's hard enough, and it's okay like that. It's just because that's the way it is. It is not because that's just the way it is. Okay, so sometimes life is like that. Okay, so but it still continues as the femoral artery and vein. Only after the split into this one. Do you see how the red is kind of slightly small, and you can sort of see the hints of it? And this is the saphenous artery and vein. Okay, and obviously I will be only pointing to both of them, because I can't point to one or the other. As you can see, it's difficult to even decipher, so this will be the saphenous artery and vein. You can also call it great saphenous artery and vein if you like. Okay, and then here you could see, as after this branch, you can see a bit of the red, a bit of the blue. As it's going towards the knee, this will be the popliteal artery and vein. Okay, and then that's it. So that's pretty much it for this. And you could see here, you see how you could see this internal iliac artery and external iliac artery there, and you could see the iliolumbar artery and vein. This one's they come out really nicely, and then you could see the branch to the internal iliac vein, and then this one right here. Do you see it? This one kind of had a small branch. That's why it kind of fused a little hard, but this is the whole thing. You see this? So that's the whole thing. So that's the whole internal iliac vein. Okay, and then after that, this is the external iliac vein. So in the exam, you just look out for this branch to the internal iliac vein, because before that is the common iliac vein, and then after that branch to the internal iliac vein, it becomes the external iliac vein joining this external iliac artery, and then at that point they start splitting together. So you have the deep femoral artery and vein, then this femoral artery and vein gives off a branch to this proximal caudal-femoral artery and vein, then it continues as the femoral artery and vein. Then when it splits into the great or saphenous artery and vein, or saphenous artery and vein, and the popliteal artery and vein, okay, and then that going to the knee. The way I can tell them apart is that the knee pops or whatever, so the popliteal is artery and vein going to the knee, and then the other one that goes medially like this is going to be the saphenous artery and vein, or the great saphenous artery and vein, if you like, to use the terminology we used in the lecture. Okay, so I think you can switch it off now.